Students, welcome you for this next lecture of the subject organic evolution. Today we are going to deal with chapter number 5, that is speciation. Let's take a brief recap of the previous lecture. In last lecture we have studied post mating pre-zygotic barriers and post zygotic barriers. In today's lecture the study objectives are: we will understand what is the concept of speciation, what are the different types of speciation. In that we will study the two types, that is allopatric and sympatric speciation. We will study mechanisms of the speciation, patterns of the speciation, and finally factors influencing speciation. In this picture you can see a cartoon on the speciation, that one organism is telling to its parent that he has turned into a mammal, that the species of him is changed. Okay. So, let us first understand what is speciation. Speciation simply can be called as a formation of new species. So, speciation is a evolutionary process by which biological populations they evolve to become distinct species. That is, from a single species multiple species can arise. That phenomena is termed as speciation. Orator Fuller Cook, he was the scientist who proposed this term speciation in the year 1906. So, there are basically two major types of speciation, that is allopatric speciation and sympatric speciation. Other than these there are also two types, that is parapatric and peripatric speciation, but from our syllabus point of view we will focus on these two, that is allopatric and sympatric speciation. In this slide first we will understand what is the difference between allopatric and sympatric speciation. Now, allopatric, this is a Greek word. Allo means other, patric means land or a place. So, in this the speciation occurs due to some geographical barrier. Okay. So, suppose a single population of a species is divided into two populations by some geographical barrier like mountain, river, ocean or any other such barrier, then after some time or after several generations are required in which these two populations can develop into two different species. On the other hand, sympatric, here sym means same and patric means land or a place. This type of a speciation occurs in the same geographical area. Okay. So, what is the difference? Allopatric speciation takes place in two different geographical areas which are separated by some geographical barrier, but sympatric speciation takes place in the same geographical area without any barrier or without any geographical barrier. Okay, now we will understand the first type, that is allopatric speciation. So, as I told you, allo means other and patric means fatherland or a native land. So, allopatric speciation takes place by the geographical isolation. So, here the populations are separated by some geographical barriers. The geographical barriers could be in the form of mountains, islands, bodies of water like oceans, rivers or glaciers. So, these allopatric speciation basically occurs due to some extrinsic factors, and these extrinsic factors are nothing but these physical barriers. These physical, so what is caused by these physical barriers? These physical barriers basically does not allow the two population to come in contact with each other for the mating purpose. So, in this picture we can see Suppose this is a original population of a species. Due to some geographical phenomena, it got divided into two. Say a geographical barrier like a river has developed between these population, so it got divided into two populations. However, this is same species, right? Here there are some members of that same species, and on the other side of the river there are some members of the same species. Now, after several generations, there will occur many mutations. Why? Because the environmental conditions on both the sides may be different. So, due to that, several mutations could get accumulated, and that will result into the change in the gene pool of that particular population. So, new mutations causing the changes in the gene pool. So, after several generations, one of the population may have such characters which are entirely different from the other population. Okay. So, now if few members they get a chance to come again back to this population, they are not able to mate with the member of this population. Okay. And due to this, now we can say that two different species are getting formed. This phenomena is called as allopatric speciation. In this picture, I have shown a population of beetles. So, suppose these beetles, there is a single population. Due to some geographical barrier getting formed between these two, they are separated into two populations. Now, the environmental conditions on both the sides are different. So, there might occur different kind of mutations. So, here you can see there are different mutations occurring, there are different mutations occurring in the second population, and due to this accumulation of the mutations over the period of time, these population may develop entirely or some different characters than the original population, right. So, due to which now these two have developed into two different species. So, formation of the new species from the same species due to some geographical barrier is referred to as allopatric speciation. So, I hope idea is clear about the allopatric speciation. So, there are different physical factors are responsible for the formation of these allopatric speciation. So, these physical factors responsible could be of two types, that is vicariance or founder effect. So, what is this vicariance? Vicariance basically means physical splitting of the habitat, okay, physical splitting of the habitat where a species is living. So, in the previous example we have seen that this is the original habitat, but due to some geographical barrier, this geographical barrier is called as a vicariance, and due to this it is splitted into two populations. So, let us see some example of the vicarious agents. So, these include volcanoes, earthquakes, storms, tidal waves, glaciers, floods, sand formation or destruction of the mountain and forest, sudden appearance or disappearance of the water bodies. All these factors would be called as a vicarious agent which are responsible for the allopatric speciation. On the other hand, the second phenomena is called as founder effect. By founder effect, there occurs divergence of few members from the original population. I will show you with one example in the next slide. So, what happens, we can see in this picture, suppose this is the original population, and from this original population a part of it gets separated, and that small proportion of the population, it may now go to the another habitat. So, because now it is moved to the another habitat, in that habitat the environmental and other conditions may be different. So it might happen that new mutations could take place in this population. The gene pool of this small population will change over the period of time, and this will result into the formation of new species from a larger population of a species. Okay, so this is called as a founder effect. Now we move to the second type of speciation, that is called as sympatric speciation. So sim means together and patric means homeland. So sympatric speciation is exactly opposite to the allopatric speciation. First of all, this term sympatric speciation was proposed by biologist Paulton in the year 1904. So according to him, he has given a definition that sympatric speciation is the process which takes place in a same geographical area. Okay, so it takes place in the same geographical area. And another definition of the sympatric speciation can be given as sympatric speciation is the origin of new species due to appearance of some biological barriers in the individuals of an initially randomly mating population that live in the same geographical area. Okay, so in the same geographical area there is no barrier like mountain, river or any other physical barrier, but in the same geographical area there could happen the speciation. That kind of a speciation is called as sympatric speciation. Okay, now let us see some of the characteristics of the sympatric speciation. So as we have seen that sympatric speciation or the sympatric species, they occur in the same geographical area. Okay, and these populations, they are not separated by any physical barrier like mountain, glaciers or rivers. So no physical barrier is responsible to prevent the free gene flow which is seen in the allopatric speciation. However, sympatric populations may be isolated by preferences for different habitat or the niches. So what it tells you that within the same geographical area, new habitats are developed and a proportion of the population migrate to that new habitat. It may accumulate the new characters due to the different mutations or other factors, and that will result into the different gene pool. Okay, so in the same geographical area, when a new species is developed, that phenomena we call it as sympatric speciation. And these two species, they are very closely related, so they are also called as sister species. Now let us understand the differences between allopatry and sympatry. So we have seen that for allopatric speciation to takes place, there should be the presence of geographical barrier, but for these sympatric speciation, there is no need of geographical barrier. It can take place within the same area by formation of the new niches or the new habitats. Allopatric speciation takes place through geographical isolation. Sympatric speciation does not take place through geographical isolation. In allopatric speciation, major differentiation mechanism is natural selection, whereas in sympatric speciation, the major mechanism is polyploidy. We will understand this in the next coming slides, the different mechanisms. Then speed of the emergence of new species is very slow in allopatric speciation, whereas emergence of the new species takes place very fast with the help of autopolyploidy or allopolyploidy. Allotropic speciation very common in nature, whereas in case of the animals, whereas these sympatric speciation is very common in case of the plants. If we take example of allopatric speciation, Darwin's finches, we have studied in the Darwin's theory, and squirrels in the Grand Canyon, these are example of allopatric speciation, whereas cultivated wheat, corn, tobacco, all these are the example of the sympatric speciation. In this picture, we can see, just refer to the first and the last line. These two types we are not dealing in this lecture. So, allopatric, you can see the original population of the species is splitted into two, and in that due to the environmental conditions, new mutations will arise, and due to this the in two different geographical area, two sister species are developed. Whereas in sympatric, there is no separation of the original population, rather within the same population a new species is developed by the mechanism like polyploidy mechanism. Okay. So, now let us understand the different mechanisms of speciation. So, 5 mechanisms are there. First is assortative mating, second is reinforcement, third is natural selection, fourth is sexual selection, and fifth is polyploidy. First mechanism is called as assortative mating. So, what is assortative mating? In this phenomena, we can see there are different phenotypes in the individuals. So, within a same species, if there are different phenotypes, like there is different size, different skin color, different pigmentation or different age, then there we can find there is a selective mating. That means, suppose there are two types of beetles, one is dark brown, one is light brown, then this dark brown beetle, they will always prefer to mate with a dark brown colored beetle, or this light brown colored beetle always prefer to mate with a light brown colored beetle. So, there is a selective mating. Okay. So, this selective mating pattern that results into what is called as a assortative mating. So, this is one of the mechanism by which speciation can take place. Second phenomena is, or the mechanism of speciation is referred to as reinforcement. So, what is reinforcement? Reinforcement is a process of speciation where natural selection plays a very important role. Okay, so we have understood what is meant by natural selection during the Darwin's theory, that natural selection always increases the reproductive isolation between two populations of the species. So, by natural selection, only those individuals which are fit to survive, they are selected by the nature, and when such fit individuals get a chance to mate, then we have what is called as a reinforcement. So, this occurs as a result of natural selection, and this will act against the production of hybrid individuals of low fitness. That means, you always have the fit individuals to survive, and those with low fitness, they will always perish, because we have seen the survival of the fittest. That means, always the fit individual will survive, and those who are not fit to survive, they will perish. So, this idea of reinforcement was basically proposed by Alfred Wallace, and it is also sometimes referred as Wallace effect. So, in this picture we can see this phenomena of reinforcement. When the incipient species they come in contact, or two mating takes place, we can have a formation of the hybrids. Those hybrids which have low fitness, they will perish, and those with a have a higher fitness, they will survive, and ultimately you may result into formation of two different species. Third mechanism is called as natural selection. So natural selection mechanism was proposed by Charles Darwin. According to this, there is always the survival of the fit individuals. So natural selection is the differential survival in which the individuals which show differences in phenotypes, in which the natural selection act, and those individuals which are fitter, they will survive and they will transmit their character to the next generation. So due to this natural selection, random mutations may arise in the genome of an individual organism, and these mutations are transmitted by this organism to the next generation. So over a period of time, natural selection can result into the formation of new species, because these mutations, they keep on accumulating in an organism over the period of time. Next mechanism is called as sexual selection. So in sexual selection, there is always a competition. Okay, so I will give you one example. Suppose there is a deer population in a forest. The male deers, they will have the attractive color or the horns to attract the female deer. Okay, so that is called as a courtship display. Now while doing that, only the fit deers which have a very good color pattern or very good horns, they will be successful in attracting the females, whereas those which do not have a very good color and horns, they will be unsuccessful to attract the females. Okay, so this phenomena is called as a sexual selection, and due to this type of a sexual selection, there is a preferred mating takes place between the members of the same species. So due to that, some individuals will have more reproductive success than the other individuals, because when a competition takes place, these fit individuals, they will be always successful to attract the female, right? And this phenomena of sexual selection can also lead to the formation of new species or speciation. The final or the last mechanism of these speciation is called as polyploidy. So you must be aware of what is meant by polyploidy. So this polyploid organism, they have the multiple set of the chromosomes. So when polyploid cell or organisms are those containing more than 2 paired set of chromosomes. Normally you have the diploid cell, means 2 sets of the chromosome, but when 3 set of chromosomes are present, you call it as a triploid cell. When you have 4 set, you call it as a tetraploid cells. Normally the diploidy is maintained in the nature, but in some plants polyploidy is most commonly seen. So polyploidy can result, or polyploidy can act as a mechanism of speciation in most of the plants. So many plants like wheat, barley, maize, in these plants polyploidy can result into the speciation. Okay, so these are the different mechanism of speciation. Now we come to the patterns of speciation. There are two basic types of, there are two different patterns of the speciation. First one is called as a anagenesis and second one is called as a cladogenesis. So what is mean by anagenesis is the process by which original species is transformed into different species over a many generation. So this is a one way development which takes place over a several generation, whereas in the cladogenesis is like a branching pattern. So in this picture you can see cladogenesis, That means from a single species you may have simultaneous formation of the multiple species. Okay. So, when you have formation of only one species from the parental species, it is called as anagenesis, but when you have simultaneous formation of multiple species from the parental species, it is called as cladogenesis. The very common example can be given that of Darwin's finches. It is the example of cladogenesis. Okay, in this picture we can see it in more detail, anagenesis and cladogenesis. So, anagenesis is also called as gradualism because it is a very slow and steady process. There occurs accumulation of the heritable changes, we call them as adaptations. It takes place over the several generations and it takes place with the help of natural selection. So, one species changes slowly step by step until it looks so different from the original species. Okay. So, in this picture you can see, suppose this is a species of a parental species of a bird. Through over several generations different changes takes place through the process of natural selection, and now after say several generation it may have very different body characters or the behavioral characters which are different from the parental species. So, this type of a gradual change is called as a anagenesis and it is always unidirectional, whereas cladogenesis can take place in the multiple direction. So, it is a branching type of a pattern of the speciation. Here one population of the species may split into the several different species at the same time. Okay. So, this will also take place. Okay. Another difference is this speciation can take place in several direction and it will also take multiple of the generation. Okay, now let us study the factors which are responsible for the variation in speciation rate. Now, this speciation process, that means formation of new species, does not take place at a common rate, but there could be variation in the speciation rate. That means in some places variation may, or rather speciation may take few generation, in some geographical areas it may take several generation. That depends upon some factors. So, what are these factors? The first factor is called as environmental changes. Now, environmental changes or the climatic factors, they play a very important role in the speciation, because due to these environmental changes a single geographical area may be divided into multiple areas. Suppose for example, there is a one geographical area, earthquake has happened and it is split into two areas. So, this type of environmental changes, they can shape the speciation. Then there could be ecological factors responsible, like within a same geographical area new habitats are developed that can result into the splitting of the gene pool of a original population into two gene pools. Okay. So, that ecological factors can also play a role. Then third factor is the species richness. So, larger is the number of species, more rapid is the speciation. So, this species richness, that means number of species, if they are larger in a particular area, that is responsible for the rate of speciation. For example, in sympatric speciation, which normally takes place by the phenomena of polyploidy, presence of the large number of species increases the chances of the hybridization between them, because there are more species, the chances of hybridization increases. In allopatric speciation, presence of large number of related species will include more species and in the range of distribution Therefore, it also increases the chances of allopatric speciation. Next factor is dispersal ability, that means how quickly the population can move from one area to the other. So, by dispersal, animals will move from one area to the new area, and since if the dispersal rate, that means movement from one area to the newer area, is faster, that can result into the formation of newer species at a faster rate. If the species has a poor dispersal, then the chances of the rate of speciation is low. So, in case of birds, since they can move from one place to the other at a faster rate, the chances of the variation or the speciation is more in this species. The next phenomena is called as population bottlenecks. The rate of speciation is more in the species which show this phenomena of bottleneck phenomena, because their gene pool show more divergence, so they show the variation at a faster rate. Then the last factor is sexual selection. Animals with complex sexual behavior, they show the higher rate of speciation because they show great preference for selection of the mate. Okay, so those animals which have a complex sexual behavior, they have the more rate of the speciation. So, all this tells us that evolution is not goal oriented. In this picture, there is a meme which tells us that orangutan is asking that to Darwin that he is the distant relative of human beings. Okay, so with this we conclude this lecture. In short, I will summarize this gist of the today's lecture. So we have understood the speciation. What is meant by speciation is the formation of new species. When we call speciation has happened, that suppose this is the member of this species only, but after several generations he has acquired new characters which makes him entirely different than the original population. So now this member will not be able to mate with this parental population, then we call it as speciation has taken place. Speciation concept was given by Cook in the year 1906. There are two basic types of allopatric speciation and sympatric speciation. Allopatric speciation takes place due to formation of geographical barrier. Sympatric speciation takes place in the same geographical area without any geographical barrier, but formation of the new habitat or niches in the same geographical area. So these in allopatric speciation we have seen different physical factors like mountain, island, water bodies, glacier, they act as a barriers that cause the allopatric speciation. The two different phenomena, that is vicariance means physical barrier and founder effect, are responsible for the allopatric speciation. We have seen the examples of the vicariance, which are the physical factors like volcano, earthquakes and etc. And founder effect, that means from the original population a small proportion get new habitat, and in that new habitat it may develop new characters and result into formation of new species. Sympatric speciation means which takes place in the same geographical area. So within the same geographical area a new habitat is developed, in that the new species will be developed. It is called as sympatric speciation. The most common phenomena is polyploidy, by which sympatric speciation takes place. Then we have understood the difference between the allopatric and sympatric speciation. Then we have seen the mechanisms, 5 mechanisms of the speciation. Assortative mating, that means selective mating, that is based on the size, skin color, pigmentation or age. If the mating takes place, it is called assortative mating. Reinforcement phenomena, where the natural selection plays an important role. Then natural selection itself can be responsible for the speciation. Sexual selection takes place. Sexual selection means the selective mating between the individuals of the species. And polyploidy, that is more commonly seen in case of the plants, and in the sympatric speciation polyploidy plays a important role. Then we have seen 2 patterns of the speciation, when the speciation takes place in the one direction only with several generation it takes place and resulting into only one formation of only one new species, it is called anagenesis. When cladogenesis means branching, that means one single species diverge into multiple of the species, it is called as a cladogenesis. Anagenesis is also called as gradualism, and cladogenesis is also called as a branching. Finally, we have seen the different factors which decide the rate of the speciation, that include environmental changes, ecological specification, species richness, dispersal ability, population bottlenecks, and sexual selection. So with this we conclude today's lecture. Thank you.